Geraldine Palk was described as friendly, lively and outgoing, but at just 26 her life was cut short in the most brutal way. 30 years ago tonight, Geraldine was returning to her home in Fairwater following a night out. A taxi dropped her just yards from her home, but she never made it. Abducted by a violent sexual predator, her body was found dumped in a nearby stream. She'd been raped, stabbed 81 times and had terrible head injuries. It was a scene that shocked even hardened detectives.
When you go to a scene like that, you realise how terrible these incidents are. To be found in a stream, semi-naked, having just gone out for the night, never to return home, those memories live with you forever.
Shocked by this brutal murder, police launched a massive investigation. They carried out extensive door-to-door inquiries and 5,000 local men were swabbed for DNA samples. But despite their efforts, officers were unable to identify a suspect. The breakthrough came more than 10 years later following advances in forensic science. A swab was compared with the new national DNA database. It threw up a match with a man serving a sentence for a separate offence in Dartmoor Prison, Mark Hampson.
What had happened is that some 2 years earlier, Mark Hampson had been arrested in connection with another matter. His DNA had been taken and put onto the DNA database. So obviously that's where the match came.
Hampson was arrested and charged with Geraldine's murder. In police interviews, he admitted that he'd met the victim and claimed they had consensual sex, an account rejected by the jury.
To say that somebody'd come along just minutes later and murdered her, that was not accepted. Undoubtedly, in my mind, the right person was charged and convicted of the murder of Geraldine Palk.
Mark Hampson was sentenced to life in prison and died in 2007. The parents of Geraldine Palk never lived to see her killer brought to justice, their lives devastated by their daughter's death.
It makes you wonder if Geraldine had been alive today, would her parents have been alive as well? And that is the consequences of these horrible, horrible murders. It doesn't just take one life away, it takes a family away. We'll never ever forget it, and they have to learn to live with it, unfortunately, and it is a life sentence for them.